On Friday, we spoke with Rye Barcott, a Marine veteran who is the founder of With Honor, an organization that supports military and public service veterans for higher office. His new book is Courage Can Save Us: 10 Extraordinary Americans and the Fight for Our Future. We began by asking about the group's mission and why it's so important now.
We've helped recruit and train and help elect veterans that take our pledge to serve with integrity, civility, and courage, including the courage to work across party lines at a difficult time to do so. Through that process, I've gotten to know many of them quite well. And so what I decided to do was select 10, an even balance of 5 and 5, all of whom were in office at a very difficult, challenging time for the country, and really unpack where their courage came from, and then look at moments of courage both in military service as well as in politics and elected office. Sometimes that courage is quieter. It's more of a moral courage versus a physical courage, which they may have encountered in the military. But that was my approach to this book, which I've written principally for students. I'd like to see more students being able to study courage. I've defined courage as a form of service, that it is taking risk in the service of something larger than yourself. It's not self-interested. It's serving what's referred to oftentimes as the common good.
Well, you do need to inspire younger people, it sounds like, because when we look at the polling, overall, 17% of Americans, according to Pew, trust the government in Washington to do what's right all or most of the time. Our own CBS polling has showed the younger generation's dispirited. Yes. They're anxious about their futures. So how do you inspire them to join a system that they believe is broken? Yeah,
I mean, I think a lot of young people they're feeling lonely. There's a lack of a sense of purpose. One of the great things that I found through military service was that it gives you a sense of something larger than yourself and a common mission with Americans from all different walks of life. So one of the key takeaways for the book is to find a route into public service, and that's one of the goals with this.
Do you worry we are at a point where the kind of moral courage you're describing is nearly impossible to fill? Because when we look at the kind of partisanship out there, and then you look at, for example, the redistricting that may lock in that partisanship and disincentivize the thing you say you want to encourage, bipartisanship. The forces are kind of against you.
The forces are really going against us. And most Americans want courage, but feel like they see very little of it or none of it. And what I wanted to shine a light on is to say that this still exists. It still exists. Here are 10 examples of it. It's hard. We need to celebrate it when it arises.
You know, past military service doesn't guarantee a flawless life. I mean, you gestured to that. But we've been talking about this with candidates, the Democratic Senate candidate in Maine, for example, other lawmakers. Do you ever look at candidates and say, despite your service, I can't support you?
We do. We usually only do about 10% of the overall vets that run. This year, there is more vets running than any year before. It's an increase of over 30% across party lines. Quite encouraging. Many of those vets are not running in races that are winnable, so that's one criteria. But really, fundamentally, we look at character, and you have to commit to this pledge to serve with integrity, civility, and courage. We watch how people conduct themselves on the campaign trail. We interview individuals that served with them in the military under duress. And it's only about 10% of the veterans that make the cut. Once they serve in office, they really need to be committed to it. They have to maintain that trust across party lines. That doesn't mean that they'll agree on every issue. Most issues they don't, but they'll maintain trust and relationships. It doesn't always work.
You talk about the pledge. When we looked it up, the pledge is to bring civility to office, participate in a cross-partisan veterans caucus. You ask members also to pledge just to meet with a member of the opposing party once a month and then join them in significant bipartisan legislation.
That's right.
Can people actually deliver on that?
I mean, it seems so basic.
Congress isn't legislating these days.
Yeah. Can we amp it up and expand it more? I hope so. We have continued to grow and maintain that cohesion, but it has been difficult. I mean, there have been many moments over the last 8 years where relationships get frayed. I mean, January 6th was one example. Yeah. Many others, and this matters for the country, but it is not easy. And meeting alone is one thing, but then actually being willing to have the courage to put your name with another and say, we're going to do this and we're going to stand for this, even though I might get attacked for working with the enemy. I mean, it's a crazy thing. There's a survey out that 80% of Republicans and Democrats, registered Republicans and Democrats, of course, about 40% of the country are non-affiliated. But among those that are affiliated, over 80% refer to the other side as the enemy. I mean, that's what and that's why with this book, I think courage can save us as a country. The us is the flag. It has a crack in it. It's not broken, but it has a crack in it. We're in a serious place as a nation. We're turning 250 years old. But at the end of the day, I believe this is an optimistic outlook. There are a lot of people that are still, serving for the good of service, something that's larger than themselves.
Our full conversation's on our website, YouTube page, and podcast platform. We'll be right back.